So it's Monday the 4th of May 2020 and I am now on to preparing the ceiling. So what I'm doing is using my electric sander, my Primo by Bosch, and sanding the excess paint that's been artexed up there. So it's working really well. I'm using a grade 80 sandpaper onto the sander so that it is taking away all the excess paint. So I'm going to spend a good time sanding that this morning, I think, and then I'll be ready to install, I would reckon. So I've decided to start at the bottom and work right along, and then the next stage will be working above, of course. And I'm going to start with a small patch test. That way I'll know how straightforward it will be. I'm going to make all the pieces half the size, maybe quarter of the size that I've cut up, because clearly there's a thing about gravity, you see. And as you can see, there is a 30-degree lean, so it will be very interesting. It's better than 45 that I thought before, but it'll be very interesting how instant grab my Max Flex Fibre is. So I'll be popping these sections in at a time and yeah, taking it easy, taking it slowly. And then with my float, I would place the mosaic on there and squeeze it on, and make sure you've got lots of pressure to squeeze it on. So that's the first part done. Phew. Now for the others. So I've put quite a few sections in now. Here is a close-up. Let's see if I can get up the ladder whilst doing this without breaking my neck. I thought I'd give you a bit of a close-up here without zooming in, because I don't think the zoom really works that well. And this particular creamware mosaic was interesting because I wondered if it was going to ooze in, and it hasn't. You know, the tile adhesive oozing into the through the holes, and it's fitting well. And what I like about using this BAL Max Flex Fibre is that not only does it have a pot life of 5 hours, in other words, when you've made a batch, here's a batch here, when you've made a batch, it'll last 5 hours. So it means that you've got plenty of wriggle room. It's not like a rapid set tile adhesive, in that, you know, you can take it off. And I've just rearranged this area because it wasn't working up to the edge. So, you know, there might still be a little bit of that where I have to take it off and reapply. And reapply some tile adhesive as well. But that's the forgiving thing about this tile adhesive. So this is what it looks like so far. Here comes another top tip. So here's a section which I've just cut out. And what I do to figure out where it should go, I'll put the float, here's my float, underneath the mosaic, and very carefully draw out where the outline is so that I can apply the tile adhesive in that section only. I mean, I tend to sort of bleed it a little bit, you know, just have a little bit extra tile adhesive there. But that makes it much more easier to understand where the mosaic will go. So there you go. So this is the end of day one of installation. I'm halfway there, so I think tomorrow morning I'll finish off the rest of it and clean it up. I'm really pleased with how it's installing without any huge problems. It looks like it's adhering properly, and of course halfway through might be an idea to stop because my neck is really aching as well, but I'll know tomorrow the result of it and see if it looks all right. Okay then, see you later. So this is my notched trowel. It's a 6mm notched trowel. It's a wide end, so you could work right across, and a narrow end for those little corners you're trying to get your tile adhesive on. So I've just placed that section with my float. So the float, and what you do is you pull up the piece of mosaic and then you place it down very gingerly and carefully, and then you push it into position. This works really well if you've got even tiles. So if you're doing a regular bathroom kitchen, then that's the perfect kind of pressure you need, because it's got a soft padded area on the base there. So it's not going to scratch or change anything to do with the tiles. I won't scratch the tiles. But what I tend to do is push the little pieces together, especially these tiny little glass things. And you could choose then to just push them slightly down so it'll catch the light. Not recommended when you've got a bad neck. Okay, so that's the work so far. So it's Wednesday, the 6th of May 2020, and I thought I would show you my ceiling mosaic by starting from downstairs, from my staircase, little tile tapestry that I did a few years ago. And here's the first view of the ceiling. I am so pleased with it, and also I'm still surprised at it. When I go up the stairs, I go, oh yeah. So yesterday and the day before I installed it. I think I could have done it in a whole day, but it really was neck aching. Not so much back breaking, but because there is a 30-degree angle to this ceiling. Obviously I wouldn't have done a flat ceiling because that would have been crazy and crazy enough. So here's a close-up of it. I hope you're getting this. Now, you know, the tile adhesive is fabulous because you can see these little bobbly bits oozing through the mesh. There you go. And it's looking really good because it's contacting the mesh, going through the mesh and then onto the tiles. and that's exactly what the job should be. So this Max Flex Fibre is perfect because it's a high polymer, and it will be, it was instant grab as well. And I made a thick solution of it and adhered it, as you saw from the other videos. So the next stage, let me come down the steps I mean. The next stage is to grout this mama. So I'm going to give it a bit of a gap. I'll do a little separate video of the grouting process. But my plan is, what I'm trying to decide is whether to use a grey grout 112 Ultra Colour Plus or my favourite brown grout 114 Ultra Colour Plus. Now, obviously with these bits here, the cream bits here, it'll look really nice with the brown. But you know what? I'm really erring towards grey, because from this distance, from 8 foot high, you're not going to tell if it's grey or brown. It's quite dark at the moment. I'm hoping to get some spotlights on it. But yeah, I think grey would be the answer. But in the meantime, I have another plan for you, ladies and gentlemen. The plan is to continue with these sections here along the wall, particularly these circles, and on the other side. Let me come past the step ladder. So for example, up there, I want to continue along the wall. So it comes down this wall, sort of thing, and then down this wall here. So I've got to prep this wall first. I've got to prime it. So, because this is plaster, this wall's plaster, so it needs priming, and so that it'll contact onto the mesh and the tiles, and therefore it won't debond. In other words, it won't come away from the wall. So yeah, that's too much tech at the moment. But at the moment, right now, I'm so pleased with this mosaic, and I hope you enjoyed watching the process. Stay tuned for the grouting bit. The grouting bit will come maybe next week. So let me see how this goes. Okay then, speak to you soon. Bye.